Hello, welcome to Renee's Real World. I do have two channels, so don't hesitate to go to one or the other to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the other channel. Renee's Real World, Renee's Secret Garden. Those are my two channels. Today I'm going to try to keep this short because it is hot out here, but I wanted to come out here in my secret garden just because I like being out here. My husband has done such a great job of making my dreams come true. I can't even say half of my dreams are part of my dreams. He's done a great job of making my dreams come true, which is why I wanted to do this video. But I wanted to do this video because I've been struggling with a question in my head here lately, and the question is, was I being selfish? Was I being selfish with wanting a big family? Was I being selfish with wanting a garden and wanting to learn how to be self sufficient? Was I being selfish? Um, and yes, I'm just at the moment, I'm trying to be prayerful about it and take it out to God and just see what I come back with spiritually when it comes to that question. But the reason why I wanted to do a video about it is because sometimes people don't understand how their words can affect another person. A few years back, it was a couple of years back, I had an auntie who was in, like, I want to say like a rehabilitation type of center, and I had a cousin who we all met up together to visit her in this place. And I came, even though something was telling me I'm not much of a people person because I'm not a part of any of the cliques when it comes to my family. My family has cliques, and I learned as a teenager when I was about 14, I learned that I wasn't a part of any of these cliques. Sometimes they would have birthday parties, barbecues, things of that nature, and I was never invited. And sometimes they would be talking about things, and then if I was to just put in my input or whatever, I was either laughed at or talked about, whatever the case may be. So, with that being said, I'm not the type of person to be like bitter about it. I just moved on. So, in this particular instance, before we went, I questioned it. I was saying to myself, I shouldn't go. I don't want to go. Um, I didn't feel like dealing with being scrutinized. I didn't feel like being judged, being looked down on. That's been my life story. That's been my life story. And once you're grown and have your own, you can choose if you want to be in certain situations. So I had gotten to the point where I just started backing up. I didn't want to be a part of the toxic environment because that's exactly what it is. Let's just be honest. Um, so I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm not a part of the cliques. Um, you just know my name. They don't know anything else about me. They never tried to get to know me. Um, yeah. So last minute that morning, I decided to go. And while we were in there, I'm kind of emotional because when I looked at my auntie, I see my grandma. She looked just like my grandma. It's like ridiculous. My grandma now is 93 years old, and my auntie who we were visiting at the time, she was going through a tough stage in her life, and she looked so much like my grandmother. And people say that I look a lot like my grandmother, so I saw it as like my triplet, basically. So we're in there, and I'm looking at her, and I'm seeing my grandmother in her eyes, and I was glad that she was having a good day that day. And a cousin of mine, just out of nowhere, folded his arms, leaned back in his chair, and said, "So, what do you do?" He was asking me that. I said, "Me? What do I do?" I said, "Well, besides being a stay-at-home mom, I'm a movie extra because that's what I did at the time. I'm a stay-at-home mom, but at the time I had like this thick, natural hair. And in the area where I live, if they're filming a timed film, they had gotten to the point where they would just straight up just email me and say, hey, do you think you would be available on this date? We need some people with natural hair, or we need women with dark complexion. They would just say stuff like that. So I did that sometimes. It wouldn't be a lot of pay, but it would be something that I could always some stories that I can always share with my children. And I felt like it was something that to be kind of proud of. I was in that movie. I was in this movie. Um, One of the main ones that I was proud of, I had just not too long ago completed. That was Watson's Go to Birmingham. I was so proud to be a part of that film because it was a book that my children had to read in school, Watson's Go to Birmingham. And when I said that, I said, well, besides being a stay-at-home mom, I am a movie extra from time to time. And sometimes I was even a part of some sitcoms. He said, oh, so what you do? I said, like movie extra, like you sit in the background, until they tell you otherwise. He was like, oh, anybody could do that. I got a homeboy that do that. Anybody could do that. And then he turned and started a whole nother conversation somewhere else. And that hurt me. That hurt me because it was a few reasons why it hurt me, but the number one reason why it hurt me is because we all watched my grandmother take care of all of us. She was at home. So the same woman that you glorify every year and you sing her praises, you'll look down on me for doing the same exact thing that she did. I just can't understand that. And the way you did it was so ugly and so nasty. And I don't like conflict. I used to be a fighter. I used to be, go toe to toe. You say some words to me, I'm gonna say some words back to you, but I'm gonna say something that's gonna really hurt you. But as I've grown and learned, I'm not so quick to be so snappy now. Now I'm just like, you know what? I don't have to be in this situation. So, I got in my truck and I left. But when I got home, I talked to my husband and I told him what had happened. Excuse me. And my husband said, why did you go? Just as plain as that. Why did you go? He said, I wouldn't have went. And I was trying to give, excuses as to why I went. I was like, I said, I'm trying to work with my family. I'm trying to be there. And sometimes I see them talk to each other and stuff and whatnot. And it's almost like they think I'm excluding myself. But when in actuality, every time I'm involved, I'm made a joke of, or I'm kind of pushed to the side, or because I don't have a title, or because I'm not involved in with big name people or something, then I'm kind of pushed to the side. So I was trying to put forth an effort to really be a part of all of my cousins when they came together to do something for the good of someone else. That's another thing that kind of touched me. It's like I like being there for other people. Um, I'm the last person that will purposely not be there for someone when they are in need. Um, because I've been a sickly person um, for years, and I know how it feels to be on your sick bed and need someone to talk to, or just need someone to vent to, or just need somebody to drop something off for you. Just the simplest things. But when my husband said that, he was like, "Why did you go?" And he said it was such ease, and I remember I prayed that night, and I was like, I wish I had that type of mannerism. My sister has that same type of mannerism where it's like, okay, whatever, why you go? Or, okay, whatever, just don't go. But I wanted so badly to have a connect, and to the point where I had to really step out of myself and say, you know what? Not at what cost? At what cost? So, with that being said, I've been struggling with trying to find myself and get back to being okay with being myself. I don't have a big title name. I'm not friends with any major celebrities or anything like that. I'm not rich. Excuse me. I'm just me. I'm just me. And I'm just this country girl that grew up watching my grandparents, and I love them for everything they taught me, to the point where it was to the point where that's what I wanted for myself. I wanted to have a garden because I watched my granddaddy have a garden, and I watched him bring in vegetables to my grandmother, like rolled up in his shirt, and he would like just unroll his shirt, and you would just see the happiness in his face that he was able to bring her some squash, or that he was able to. He would come home sometimes, and if he's been in the backyard, he would come in with like a bucket of pecans, and he would sit and he would just crack those pecans, and she would take some that he has already cracked, and she would put in the oven, and she'll hook it up the way she hook it up. And I wanted that. I wanted that so badly for myself. I wanted to be a mom, and I wanted to be a wife. And now I feel like I'm being judged by the world for wanting that. And it's hurtful. But the reason why that question has been coming up here lately is because now people are getting so bold where they will actually make little comments that they don't even know are hurtful, because they just mean people. So mean people, of course, they can't quite understand that they're letting the enemy use them. Some people, some people don't care, but some people, I believe, they don't know that they're letting the enemy use them, because who's to say if I wasn't a stay-at-home mom that something bad would happen to one of my children? Like one day I posted on my Instagram and I said, I'm so proud of being a hands-on mom. No sleepovers, no pickups. Excuse me. And I was like, I'm just a hands-on mom. I always have been. I never depended on other people to pick my kids up from school. I never depended on other people to watch my kids after school. It's always been me and my husband. We got each other, and we work together, and we show our children how to work together to make a family work. And after I posted that, someone else posted, just did a pickup, and they didn't even realize that I wasn't saying like no pickups, like I don't pick my child up. I was saying no pickups, like I'm not contacting Tim Karen to go pick my child up because I want to work some extra hours today. They didn't get the point. The point was I'm raising my children. Me and my husband, we are raising our children. That was my point. And I'm going to pray about it, because that's the only thing I could really do. But when my cousin said that to me that day, it still to this day rings in my head. And that was over 2 years ago. That was about 3-4 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. But when he said it with such a bad energy, a bad vibe. He said it like he was above me and I was beneath him. He said it as if because I'm a stay-home wife and a mom, that my life did not have value to it. However, I feel the direct opposite. I feel like my life has even more value to it, because I'm able to give my family more of me. Excuse me, you guys. I need some water or something. here in this humidity. Mm. But I just had to express that because it was really on my mind a lot today. Because I already struggle sometimes with, am I enough for my husband? Or did he really want like a girl that was more out there and showing her body more, and now don't get me wrong, I will for him. But I always have been the type where uh, if I got a husband at home, why am I trying to entice someone in the street? Like, so I never have felt like I had to be half naked. I never have felt like I had to like get my legs open for pictures or nothing like that. I don't knock anybody who does it. It's not me. I'm a country girl. Like, I don't know how many ways I can express that. I'm a southern country girl, and I admired my grandparents and my great aunts. I had an Aunt Mary who I used to go see all the time, and my Aunt Gussie who I used to go see all the time. And let me tell y'all this, and then I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Sometimes you think you're getting on somebody's nerves, and then you find out later that they really loved you coming around. For years, I would go visit my Aunt Gussie when I first moved near her, and I didn't have a number for her or nothing, but sometimes I would just pop up and be like, hey. And when I didn't go see her for about 2 or 3 weeks in a row, I remember word had gotten around to her daughter. She told her daughter told my mom. It went on down that I hadn't come to see her. And she was worried about me. She wanted to see me. She wanted to talk to me. And when I got the word, I went down there to see her. And she was the type that she used to watch like the old time shows and everything. So she would be watching like Fred Sanford, like Sanford and Son, or she would be watching like Price is Right. And we sat there and we talked and we laughed, and she gave me 2 house gowns, like muumuus, to wear. And I still to this day have those 2 muumuus up in my closet. And I remember she told me, and my dad's mom told me the same exact thing. She said, "You're gonna be blessed in your children." And at the time, I only had 2 kids. But she said, "You're gonna be blessed in your children." And my dad's mom used to always tell me the same thing. Now, my Aunt Gussie, that's my mom's aunt. And my dad's mom used to always tell me, "You're gonna be blessed in your children." She gave me those 2 muumuus, and she said, "When you pregnant and you walking around the house, whatever, put this on. But no, you small, so I know you wet." And when I got pregnant that next time, I did wear her muumuus a lot, a lot. Excuse me. So I said that to say this: watch what you say to people, because just as well as the negativity rings in my ear when my cousin was like, "That ain't nothing." Well, he was like, "What you do? That ain't nothing." Blah blah blah. Just as well as that rings in my ear, it also rings in my ear with my Aunt Gussie saying, "You're a blessed woman. You're gonna be blessed in your children. You're gonna be blessed in your children." And I remember her singing. Um, the last time I saw her, she was singing. So when she got sick, I was shocked. But she sung "Ship of Zion," and she sung "Just Like a Ship Without a Sail." And yeah, miss her. I miss my Aunt Mary. I miss my mama Emma. I miss my big daddy, and most of all, I miss my papa. I miss my papa so much to the point where um, sometimes I think I smell him through my house. And um, my pecan tree, I named my pecan tree after my papa. We call him Papa because he was always with the pecans, and he was just a big part of my life. He was stern with me, but it was out of love. He was stern with me, and he always wanted to make sure I knew right from wrong. But I got a lot of pawpaw stories, so if y'all want to know any of my pawpaw stories, I'm willing to share because we don't have pawpaws anymore. If we do, they're very few and far in between. We don't have pawpaws anymore. So, yeah, I just really wanted to share my heart today. I need to go ahead and get me some water. That's what I need to do because all this dryness is not good. But I'm just hoping that my children are proud of me. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that even though their mom is not big in the corporate world, I don't have a big name. Um, I don't have fancy jewelry on. I don't wear stilettos to the PTA. Um, I'm hoping that I made them proud. And I'm hoping that my husband is proud to have me as his wife. Even though I'm not like half naked and, out there, um, I'm just me. And when that voice goes in my head again of what my cousin said and how he asked me what do I do, and the way he kind of made it seem as if what I do is nothing, when that voice goes off in my head again, I'm hoping that just looking around at my family, looking around at my garden and my yard, my home, I'm hoping that gives me some sense of I do belong. And every day I give it my best. What I do is not easy, contrary to what other people may believe. And I'm going to get emotional, so I don't want to do that. But I work hard every day and I give it my all for my little family. Um, it's not all it's not all like peaches and cream. It ain't all rainbows and sunshine. But doggone it, it's mine. So gracias para ver. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, or like Skinny Boy Randy say, thumb, thumbs up, thumbs down. Just don't give me the two fingers. Yep. Talk to y'all in the next video.